YouTube, what's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and I jumped into Quick Battle tonight and played a couple. This is going to be one of those. It's going to be an Empire versus Greenskins match. Had a very cordial, awesome opponent. One of the people that's kind enough to say hi and, make sure you're ready before you join in. I don't know if he watches the videos or anything, but he's very polite. So I love these matches rather than the ones where you jump into Quick Battle and someone readies up immediately with the pre-built army. And it's going to be fun. But yeah, so this is a good time. Just wanted to play a couple Empire matches. Like I said, this was one of those. I've got the Emperor. I'm going up against the Greenskins. I really like Karl Franz as a pick against the Greenskins because he causes terror. Galmaraz, along with the Rune Fang, they're just nasty. And they can beat down stuff really quick. Jade Wizard to support him with healing. I brought a couple of Demigryph Knights. I brought the Royal Altdorf Demigryph Knights. Again, Terror really plays well against Greenskins most of the time. And then I've got a Demigryph Knight with Halberd. I brought these two to guarantee mobile supremacy because I've also brought a whole bunch of pistol cavalry, or handgun cavalry, I should say. So I've got two Outriders, the standard variant with the longer range and armor piercing, and then I've got two Pistoliers. So the goal here is to nullify any Greenskin light cavalry advantage. And then I won't have a ton of infantry hitting power, but with a couple of Flagellants and Sigmar's Sons, my infantry is going to take a while to break. And then I do have one Great Swordsman for a little more hitting, because I have to be able to survive the initial waylay of the WAAGH. And that is one of the difficulties you will face in fighting the Greenskins. And speaking of the Greenskins, they did not disappoint with the light cavalry. There are two Goblin Wolf Rider archers on this flank and a couple more there. There is a Spider Rider hidden far on either flank to help support them. And then the main line is there's going to be a couple of Savage Orc Biggins on either flank, and then they are led by Goblins for a little probably cavalry charge protection. And then there's support from a couple of Boar Biggins. You can see back here there's a Night Gobbo Shaman. The Night Goblin Shaman here doesn't even have any spells. But you might be wondering, well, Air, why would you bring this guy? The Night Gobbo Shaman does have, I believe, the ability to help summon up more Winds of Magic. I think that's what he's got here. Yep. And they can also steal magic, which he hasn't brought that. He hasn't brought that ability. I'm surprised, but it's basically to funnel more magic into Azhag. So not a bad idea because Azhag on his own, if he doesn't get a good roll on Winds of Magic, it doesn't usually go well for him. So to get the battle started, I'm going to go ahead and do some initial skirmishing. I don't really know how my missile cavalry is going to fare against theirs. Willing to try it though, because I do have a bit of a range advantage with the standard Outriders, and I'm thinking that I will do well here. I can use some mobility to my advantage. The arrows don't travel as quickly as bullets, and I'm hoping that that will give me a couple of good strikes. And I did get some good shots in right here against the Goblin Wolf Riders. And I'm doing a little bit of trading fire. You can see the Spider Riders already moving in. So there is a skirmish already. Now this Wolf Rider archer got singled out. So I'm going to try and quickly give it a 1-2 hit there. And we can see we got another one routed. And I did see these Spider Riders close to the last second here. So I was like, oh boy, chase is on. These cavalry are fast and Spider Riders poison. So I'm going to have to send some Demigryphs to ward that off. And it works. I'm going to try and keep Karl in the center. I need to keep an eye on Azhag. Now, Azhag is fast, 110 speed. He's going to be a match even for the Jade Wizard on the Pegasus. Plus, if he brings, and he did, he's got the, Foe Seeker, I think, that allows him to move faster. So he's going to be almost impossible for me to catch. But if I can keep the Missile Cavalry alive, I feel like I can torment Azhag, or at least use them to good effect in the late game. Even up just against 4 Savage Orc Biggins, I expect to lose the infantry fight over time unless Karl's able to help support it. I did get a single hit and drop the Rune Fang and Galmaraz in case he was going to stay in this fight, and of course he doesn't. He gets away very quickly and manages to take very little damage there. So that was a very good play by my opponent here to get Azhag out of that fight. So we got a big WAAGH on the way. And the infantry fight's about to get underway. I was able to crush the Spider Riders out here with the Altdorf Griffites. And there is a Orc Boar Boy Biggin here. And I charge it while the WAAGH is active. Or no, I didn't. I just clicked. I thought I charged this. Wow, I just totally misclicked. So it's just a misclick on my part. Over here, Demigryph Knight's able to save my Missile Cavalry. The WAAGH is active. My flagellants are taking the brunt of the WAAGH, which is good, and then I'm able to reinforce with my second sword unit. I've got Sigmar's Sons safe in the middle. Azhag comes in for a second engagement, but just really doesn't want to be here. I'm able to heal Franz. He was probably hoping to reinforce with the Boar Boys, so the initial WAAGH is gone, and unless Azhag is in combat, the WAAGH will not recharge. I do get stuck in combat over here with some goblins. This is not ideal, but I'll be alright, at least for a moment. I'm able to get the Altdorf Griphites back, and they start taking a lot of damage here. I don't know if I got it, I think I clicked them right, but I did it wrong earlier. Yeah, that Fate of Buna just completely finishes off the Griphites. That's a lot of magic from Azhag, though, so kind of advantageous to me in a way that he's not Spirit Leeching me or my Wizard, and forcing me to heal those instead. So a lot of damage being done to the Greenskin mobility, and this is what I want. I need their mobility dead. Over here, I just don't have an infantry unit to trade off against those goblins, and fortunately the goblins are not doing a ton of damage to me, but that is really not an ideal fight for me. My greatswords are still free in the back. They've helped to keep my cavalry alive, and here we're going to even get a few shots at Azhag, who wants my Jade Wizard, but the Jade Wizard should be able to stay ahead of him. I think he gets one quick shot there, but then pulls off because he realizes he's getting shot by all the cavalry as well. And then I'm going to use Karl to support the infantry fight here. I don't really love that he's fighting these savage orc biggins, and he can terrorize them given the right scenario here, but as long as their leadership stays up with Frenzy on, they can be immune to psychology. You can see here a Spirit Leech on my Demigryph Knights. It's not a bad play. He might be able to kill off unit models using Spirit Leech. Some regrouped Spider Riders here are going to be shot down. I am running a little low on ammo on a few of my units. And of course my opponent does have a Doom Diver Catapult. He's also got that Shaman back there, but the Doom Diver Catapult has been firing at my Missile Cavalry, and that is a relevant target. The more of him he can kill, the better off he's going to be. Now I see some Boar Boys inbound on this flank, and so I go ahead and move to support. I'm going to put a heal down here. I need to keep my Demigryph Knights alive, and I'm going to support with Karl and try and take these Boar Boy biggins out of the fight. Not the best use of my Demigryph Knights here. They've just killed a bunch of goblins, but if I can use them through one last little bit here to help get rid of a Boar Boy biggin, it will at least be better than what I had used them for. They've managed to hold on to their leadership. You see the Boar Boys trying to put a charge on my swordsmen. You can see how valuable the Sigmar's Sons and the Flagellants and other units were. They really absorbed that initial greenskin engagement, and now you can see the greatswords coming back, doing a little damage here. The Boar Boys that I initially killed continue to come back from rounding. Check it out, the Demigryph Knights survived that. I'm able to push out the other Boar Boy. But I'm running out of options. I'm losing a lot of units, and the Doom Diver Catapults are taking their toll on my Outriders here, and you can see they have a lot of ammo. So this is not good for me. I can't be letting units die and wasting that ammo. There's a lot of greenskins left on the battlefield, folks. It's almost 450 greenskins left. So they're over double my numbers. But the Sigmar's Sons performed valiantly. The Greatswords did pretty well, all things considered. I just can't catch Azhag. But I also have to be careful that I don't dive down into a position and get Franz ruined. But at the same time, with Galmaraz and Reikland Runefang and the support of these cavalry firing from afar and the Wizard, Karl is a threat to literally the entire Greenskin army. You cannot underestimate him with that stuff going on. He is definitely a threat to everything they have left. So I'm going to be shooting into this blob of infantry. It's a good place to put a few bullets. Get as many kills as I can. This light cavalry is now going to hopefully pay dividends for me. I've got mobility, potential to chase off routing units, but I still can't catch Azhag, and I have to be very careful about when and where I drop into a fight, because even if I drop down here, for instance, and route that infantry, I've got to be able to clean it up. And then there's a couple of Boar Boys, and I don't think they could kill Karl, but maybe a well-timed charge, Spirit Leech, bunch of stuff going on, so I'm trying to play safe here. My Jade Wizard isn't fast enough to catch Azhag. You can kind of pace him, but it's going to be a tricky one here. So the Doom Diver, I'm finally going to go kill it. It was getting way too many kills on me. You can see what it's done to this Outrider, and that's bad because that unit definitely still had ammo. I'm going to put a quick charge over here. I expect this will lure in most of the greenskins, and then I quickly change directions with the Jade Wizard, and I was hoping to lure the greenskins here because I have Galmaraz and the Reikland Runefang back, and you're going to just see how powerful Karl is here. He got Spirit Leeched, but I'm going to send the Wizard in. We're going to heal him. We're going to lose a lot of hit points here, but look at the damage that Karl does to the, like I said, the entire greenskin army here. Just taking a shellacking and then presenting themselves as targets for my outriders. So this ended up working out very favorably for me. This battle's not over with yet, though. Azhag's still alive. He's still got some magic, and Karl is done healing, folks. We did manage to take out the Doom Diver catapult. I still have no idea that there's a shaman back here. I haven't even seen him the whole battle. Yeah, you can see I was going to do a quick hit back here, try and push these routing units off the battlefield altogether, getting Spirit Leeched again. So Spirit Leech is now a very big problem because I can't heal Karl anymore, and I don't know how much magic he has left. I don't expect it's much. There's a Fate of Buna, and I've already seen, I think, 2 or 3 Spirit Leeches. No ammo left on my cavalry, so I have to be careful with them. And like I said, just maybe trying to do a little bit of mop-up, but I get a late attack order out here on the Goblin, and we don't even successfully get it mopped up. So I'm just trying to assess the situation. I'm going to fast forward because there's a lot of gaming that's still going to take place here. I'm trying to figure out what the best way is. Another Spirit Leech, so if Azhag does have any magic, he's definitely got to be running low, but again, I had no idea this Great Shaman's back here, and that Wand of Jet is a big deal. He's able to suck up as much winds and magic as possible. For a moment, I get the idea that, you know, maybe I can catch Azhag because he's tired and try and get to him. But Foe Seeker has actually kept him at a better vigor level than my Wizard has, and my Wizard's barely done anything. So there's going to be a period here where I chase Azhag with the Wizard, just trying to catch him or get a couple of hits in the back. Anything I can do that will hurt the greenskin morale, I try and bracket him off with Karl. But we just cannot catch Azhag. He's too fast, and eventually he gets another Foe Seeker, and he's just completely uncatchable. So this strategy is out the door. It's not going to work. For a moment, I'm over here letting my cavalry rest. They need to be active, fresh, and ready to be participating in combat, whereas you can see that some of the greenskin units are in pretty good vigor, but others are in pretty bad. And you can see the Spider Riders obviously want to cause an engagement there that'll be in their favor. I'm not going to take that engagement, but rather I'm going to swing in here with Karl and see if we can pick off some units. And when this Spider Rider routes, I will be able to click an attack order and get it off the battlefield. Azhag was chasing close behind. I turned around, hoping again maybe I can get lucky and catch him, but my opponent's far too capable to fall for that. I'm tempted to just dive bomb into this with Karl and just use the Wizard as bait to keep Azhag away and see if I can bust his whole army. Some part of me thinks that I could with a quick charge from the cavalry and a big hit from Karl with his Rune Fang and Galmaraz, but we'll see. I'm going to fast forward for another second, show you all what's happening. So I go for the cleanup. I put a quick hit and terrify the Savage Orc, thinking I can get out in time, but these extremely quick Goblin Wolf Riders, and although they're not poisoned, Karl's so worn out he can't get away from them. So Karl is now on the ground, and this is going to be the fight. This is going to be the fight whether I like it or not. It's not great for me because Azhag's going to get a free charge. I am able to use Galmaraz and the Rune Fang, so Karl is going to be doing unreal damage. And then my cavalry was close enough to do a quick charge into this fight. I do a little bit of misclick, but I'm able to get in here, charge the cavalry, keep it busy. And then Karl starts terrifying the units around him, and with Azhag busy with the Wizard, the leadership was a little low. Azhag comes back, dives into the light cav. This gives me a chance to get in behind the greenskins and dive in with the Jade Wizard. I'm going for a leadership knockout, and that's my only real chance here. The greenskin infantry routes, and then my cavalry is able to hold Azhag just long enough. And he comes over for his final shot at Karl. And Azhag just will not be able to survive this fight. And a very well-fought battle to my opponent. Came down to the wire there. He controlled his army well. I liked his pick, too. It was a fun one. He had a lot of light cavalry support. He brought the right infantry, in my opinion, to take on the Empire. There's a little bit of anti-large, a little bit of goblin fodder, some cavalry support. Despite the fact that they lose, Boarboy Biggins can trade off fairly well a lot of damage to Demigryph Knights, and it's not an awful pick by any means, and they do help you control large units. I brought a lot of terror in this army, and I did it intentionally. It didn't end up doing too well with the Altdorf Griffites, but Karl was a good demonstration of why I like terror against the greenskins, and a lot of people do. It doesn't mean that you can always get them with it. Black orcs are immune to it. But in the case of black orcs, my plan was hold them up long enough, do some damage with Karl and the Outriders, right? So if he spends a bunch of money on black orcs to truck a bunch of state troops, I'm just gonna, give them the Outriders and Karl, which is what they won't want anyway. I didn't expect to come up against Azhag. That was an interesting one, and he's slippery. It can be a risky pick for the greenskins if you don't pay attention, because there's no other units to support him in the air. But he's fast. He can stay in front of pretty much any Empire air unit. And as long as you're careful of skirmishers and other stuff, Azhag is a great lord for the greenskins. He can also cause terror, and Empire state troops are very prone to it. So it doesn't make him a bad pick at all. And Lure of Death is always a solid magic if you're able to use it properly. So I really appreciate Wooly Kelly. I can't say it. Just call him Wool here. Appreciate the match, man. It was fun. Thank you for being cordial, polite, letting people have time to ready up, being a great player in the ladder. I love playing players like this because it's just kind of a good sportsmanship environment, and you get a good fight out of it. This was tough. There's a couple times where I thought I was going to lose this battle, so really enjoyed this one. Appreciate the game from him. Hope you all enjoyed this one as well. The Emperor victorious this time. It was close. Fortunately, he was able to just get in there and tank it out. Hey, if you enjoyed this battle, go down and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you would have done. If you disliked it, get down there and tell me why the battle was stinky, and go smash the dislike button, okay? Just interact. Have some fun here. And if you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed. If you would like to be notified when there's new videos, then of course you can click the bell. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you soon.